Hello, everyone. My name is Brenda Ray, and I'm a peer advisor for the SSOE Global Experiences and Engagement Office. Today, I am joined with Michaela Bernhardt, and she had a global experience in Pitt, Japan. Michaela, do you want to tell them a little bit about yourself and what you're involved in at Swanson?
Absolutely. So I'm a fourth year computer engineering student. I've done all kinds of internships. I'm in IEEE. I'm actually the activities chair. I'm an engineering ambassador, so I get to give tours around the school. Also in a sorority, all kinds of stuff.
Awesome, awesome. And then how did you decide to get involved in global experiences?
It's actually one of the reasons I decided to come to Pitt was because of the amount of experiences we had here. Especially in engineering, I recently learned only like 4 to 7% of engineers nationally go abroad. And here I think before COVID at least, it was like 40%. It was kind of crazy. And I just thought that was really awesome. I've always wanted to travel and get that chance. So why not do it now?
Amazing. Yeah, we're definitely blessed at Pitt to have such amazing opportunities. And then kind of narrowing it down, how did you decide to go on the Pitt in Japan program?
Yeah, so my dad is actually in the Air Force, and so he and my mom lived in Japan in Okinawa for a while. And my older sister was actually born there on the Air Force Base. So growing up, I always heard all kinds of stories and saw pictures, and it was just always something I thought was very different from what I experienced growing up. So I thought it'd be really cool to go see it for myself.
Amazing, amazing. And then during your time in Japan, what did you find most personally impactful to you?
Honestly, probably just the way people live their daily lives differently. Of course, it was whenever I went to classes there, it was the same. We woke up every day, went to school, took classes. But it was just so many little things that were very different, like the way people acted, or, in public, like on the train system, like you would never bump into somebody else. I think that I quite literally never like bumped into somebody else on the trains, even how busy they were all the time. So just a lot of like little things like that were very different. It was just very, very like fascinating to see how things like that changed overseas.
Amazing. And then kind of shifting back into coursework, how did your time abroad impact your schoolwork once you came back?
Honestly, like a good bit. I really didn't expect it to, which was kind of crazy. I really think going abroad has really opened my eyes to like engineering overseas. Especially just engineering in general is such a global job, honestly, because building things, designing things, like thinking about the future, it's like it's not just us, it's around the world. And so since I'm graduating soon, I actually started looking into jobs overseas and jobs that could let me travel. And I actually found one that could send me back to Japan, which would be really, really cool. So it's really changed kind of my trajectory for where I want to go after school.
Amazing, amazing. And then kind of diving a little bit deeper into kind of what you were talking about there, as you go into your career, is global something that you're looking for in your career or?
Definitely. I think if I get the chance to travel more, to experience more of the world, I would take it. I know it's been really interesting, is even like at career fairs, like I have my global experience on my resume. And so I'll take my resume to the professionals. And they always like, oh wow, like you went overseas, like what was it like? What did you do? Like how was the work ethic different? Ask me all kinds of questions. I feel like they honestly ask more about my global experience and my internships half the time, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Definitely seems like it gave you a leg up in some of those conversations.
Definitely.
And then one last question for you. What advice would you have to any students that might be considering the Pitt in Japan program or any global experience in general?
Absolutely go for it. It is just it's such a big deal how global engineering can become and how much like you can learn from going overseas and how people act differently, how you work differently. It's just I feel like I know I've learned a lot, and like I said, like it changed where I want to go with engineering. Definitely in a better way. So I think if you have the chance, or if you're even just barely even thinking about going abroad, definitely go for it. So
I couldn't agree more. And thank you so much for joining us and for telling us a little bit about you and your experience. Thank you, Michaela.
absolutely.